If the end of this life is that you are the steel, you are the thing that gets created, then you can't resent the hammer and the fire that makes you. Because you can't wish for strong character and an easy life. Because the price of each is the other.
This is why I'm always pushing that limit, because I know that within pushing these limits, there's always more.
Comfort will never make you proud. Comfort won't make you strong. Comfort will not allow you to inspire your kids or your community or your friends.
Behind mountains are more mountains. Goals aren't finish lines, they're mile markers.
I've realized that it's scary when you find a thing that you're going to fully commit yourself to the pursuit of, especially if it's excellence that you're going after, because there's no more room for your inadequacies to hide anymore. You can't decide to change direction and do something else if things get tough. There's no more ejector seat, right? I've committed to this. This is my thing. And this is one of your rules, commit to something
commit to at least one thing.
As hard as you can and see what happens. Yeah, precisely.
The fastest growth periods are often the most miserable. If you want progress, get used to pain. The worst thing that's ever happened to you is the worst thing that's ever happened to you. The hardest you've ever worked is the hardest you've ever worked. Every new challenge shows you a new territory you were scared of but survived. Every time you break a new limit, you now know you have the capacity to handle more than you ever did before. It's inverse PTSD, like workload exposure therapy, that teaches you, oh, I've been here before and I didn't die. This is okay.
It just gives you an understanding of that this discomfort is unavoidable.
Right.
And that trying to avoid discomfort just brings you more discomfort.
Right.
And you don't realize it just brings you this long-term dull discomfort.
That's it.
As opposed to the searing pain of like mid-struggle discomfort,
right,
which is what everybody's trying to avoid.
Everybody.
But you're still gonna get discomfort. You're just gonna get this I coulda, shoulda, woulda been discomfort, which is maybe worse.
You're right.
It might be worse.
It just makes it a little easier. That's all. That's all the repetitions do, man. It doesn't take away the pain. It doesn't take away the suffering.
No.
You just studied it. You know it. You know how it feels.
Yeah.
You know when to breathe, when not to breathe. You know all these different things. You've been there. You visited. You've lived there for a long period of time.
The fastest growth periods are often the most miserable. If you want to progress, get used to pain. If you think about what actually occurs when you grow, you stretch past your point of comfort. So even if you're growing a muscle, like you stretch it, you break it down, it's painful. If you have growing pains, like as a kid, it's like you grew too fast and your joints are in a lot of pain. If you're a company and you expand, this is technically supposed to be good stuff, but it doesn't make it any less painful. Elite athletes don't get stronger during easy workouts. If we want progress, we must accept the price of pain that's attached to it. You cannot both want progress and live an easy life. These two things conflict.
You have your meals cooked for you, and you've got a custom-built pillow and stuff.
Yeah.
And that preparedness to accept, no matter how good I get at this thing, I will always have to do boring shit. And that's not a bug, it's a feature. And not only is it a feature, it's a source of competitive advantage, because as things get more salubrious, as you raise up through the ranks, other people will have the same thought that you do, which is, I shouldn't need to do this shit anymore. You go, okay, so if you can continue to lean into the stuff that you did at the start, at the end, that's where the competitive advantage lies. Jimmy Carr broke my brain with this one. Everyone is jealous of what you've got. No one is jealous of how you got it.
I love that quote.
My God. People see the trophies, but not the training ground.
Everybody wants the view, but no one wants the climb. I love it. The people who win love the climb. And the real mountain has no peak.
Well, pursue the highest possible goal. Well, why? Because the kick from advancement is higher. Now, you have to balance that. It can't be, you have to advance, right? Because imagine the reward's got two components. Number one is you're moving towards something valuable. Okay, so you want it to be as valuable as possible. Okay, but you have to be moving. So it can't be so valuable that it's out of your reach.
You're going to walk to the moon. I'm not going to be able to see every single increment that I make.
Yes. You want to get to the moon, that's right. You can't walk there, so it's a bad plan. You need something extremely valuable that you can move towards.
And so whenever I get to a low point where I think, why do I even bother? I just try and remind myself, this is where most people stop, and this is why they don't win. That period, that wall that you hit, Like that is the champion wall. That is where you leave everyone else behind, because everyone only works until their point of excitement and then they stop. It's like you have to find that next gear.
There's no fucking hack, bro. There's no fucking hack. Yeah, you may this and that and saunas and all this shit yeah, it's great. There is no fucking life hack. To grow that thing, how do you grow it? Do it and do it and do it and do it. That's the hack. The hack is gonna fucking suck.
People only root for others at 2 times. First, when they're at the beginning of the race. Second, when they finish. Neither is when you need it. So, you have to master the middle. The boring, exhausting, soul-crushing middle. That's where the winning happens, on your own. People will only cheer for you as long as you can't beat them at the game they value most.
I did have a real belief, whether I was tricking myself or not, that there's a bigger pot of gold for me on the other side of this if I just out-endure it. I'll out-endure this summit. And it became a little like the year in Australia. I started to gain pride and honor with the longer the penance went on of being without what I wanted. And I started to be like, well, I definitely ain't backing out now, man. I'm 6 months in.
Turns into momentum.
All in a year later, I'm like, I'm a year in, man. This is getting good. Okay, come on.
And so in the bodybuilding world, they'd be like, okay, once you have achieved failure, that is where your working reps begin. It's an old school bodybuilding saying. I'm sure the science bros will be upset about it, but I think that it very much qualifies for how it relates to work in this world is that your motivation fades very quickly. It's that work begins once motivation stops. And I think if you measure it that way, then you will measure how much you work and how hard you work very differently.
The Lonely Chapter describes a time in your life where you're so developed that you can't really resonate with your old set of friends, but you're not yet sufficiently developed that you've built a new set of friends.
If you're trying to go to that uncommon amongst the uncommon place, it's a lonely motherfucker up there, man. It's lonely. I'm not saying I'm better than every fucking body. I'm not saying that. And once again, I'm not speaking for every SEAL. I'm not. But I didn't try to be what they were.
What you're just saying is just a fact.
It's just a fact, man.
It's just a fact. And there's people that are willing to go very far. And then there's people that are willing to go far further than them.
That's it.
And when you're a person who prides yourself on your ability to go very far, and then someone is willing to go far farther than you, you have to decide, do I want to look at that as the new standard? Do I want to judge myself? Do I want to admire him? Or do I want to try to take him down?
That gnawing feeling when you realize you've outgrown your social circle isn't loneliness. It's your ambition finally speaking louder than your need to belong. Lots of people, maybe most people, want to be extraordinary in some way, but also don't want to stand out in a way that allows them to be mocked. But the latter is the price of the former. You can't behave the way that everybody else does and expect to not get the results that everybody else gets.
I remember thinking about this at long length when I was younger, and I thought about the word exceptional, right? So buried in the word itself is the key point, which is that you cannot expect to be accepted if you want to be exceptional. To become exceptional, by definition, you have to become the exception, which means you have to be unlike other people. You have to do what they don't agree with. If they agreed with you, if everyone agrees with you, you can be sure that it's the wrong path.
I think for the most part, it's people that have become sedated. They've forgotten their dreams, but they've forgotten that they've forgotten them. Pink Floyd's Comfortably Numb is about this, right? They've become comfortably numb.
People wonder, how do you stay hungry all the time? Because after I accomplish something, I don't sit back like a lot of guys who graduate buds, graduate this, graduate that. They get comfortable. They wonder why I'm getting weak, man. I don't know, I lost my edge. What's going on? Because once you hit the top of the fucking mountain, guess what happened? I'm good. So you wonder why you're falling down now. Because once you reach the top of the mountain, you gotta build a fucking another one.
As we make the world easier and easier, so this is perhaps part of the problem with the material plenty that's at hand, is that at some point, what becomes lacking is lack itself.
Yes.
Right, yes, exactly. It's optimal deprivation. And if everything is delivered to you on a platter, it's like, what the hell are you even doing there?
Why can't I habituate to the suck? Right? Why can't I habituate to the suck? And the thing is that you do. The only thing is that what makes the suck keep sucking is what makes punishment effective, which is increasing intensity and variety. And so if you want to effectively punish someone, you can't just keep punishing them the same way. You have to increase intensity and change how you do it. And the beautiful thing is that life doesn't fight fair. And so life will change the intensity and will give you more variety. How many times have you been like, I didn't know life could suck in this way? Like, this is a new one.
That's why you'll never hear me say, I'm missing something. I found it years ago. You find it in the suck. You find it in the suck, and you find it repeatedly in the suck, to the point where you know exactly who you are. Most people are missing something because they don't know who they are. They never examine themselves. They've never done this experiment on themselves. The lab rat, we're all lab rats, but you're also the scientist. You create your own self.
But with each lash of the whip that I take, learning that I can take it and continue to trudge on. And so as long as you keep going, you bear witness to yourself of what you are capable of. And I find that incredibly satisfying in the trenches of misery when you have to go through it.
It means you're not full of shit.
I'm still here.
It means that you're not full of shit.
If you run yourself through a disciplinary process, so you accomplish something, maybe you don't attain the goal you were aiming at, but you accrue a new way of looking at the world and a set of skills. Well, if you just keep doing that, you have multiple ways of looking at the world and more skill. Well, that's your storehouse of treasure.
It's something that you build. Like, I never forget, I was on a podcast one time, and this dude goes, you were blessed with a strong mind. Like, the hell are you talking about? I was blessed with a strong mind. That's something that you have to develop. You develop that over years, decades of suffering, and going back into the suffer.
And maybe it's because all things considered, a world with an adversary is a better world, just like a garden with a snake in it is a better garden. These things aren't easy to understand. No snake, no necessity to contend with snakes. So why be awake at all? No adversary, no challenge. Why be challenged? Because maybe you're better for the challenge. And maybe that's the challenge, to see if you can be better for the challenge.
That's my happiness, is my reflection on the suffering of my journey, knowing I never quit, nor was I guided by anybody on this earth. I was guided by something much more powerful, and I listened, and I chose the path of most resistance.
But I have good news. Nothing hard lasts forever. There's only 3 things that can happen. You either quit, it gets easier, or you get better. So no matter what, it always ends. You only lose when you quit before you see it all the way through.